we spent $1,000 extra to come to Universal Orlando during the busiest time of year today.
Hey there, Man Fam. We are at Universal Orlando during spring break, and we're going on a VIP tour.
This experience rolls out the red carpet treatment for you and is the only way to skip the line at Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM, but it was over $1,000 for the two of us to do this tour today.
And because we are people of science, and we want to assess the value of this experience, we are going to be timing how long it takes for us to get on the rides we're going on today, and then compare that with the actual posted wait times.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm so excited. There's a lot included with the tour. We've never done this before, so let's go. Today we are doing the small group semi-private VIP experience. They also offer a private VIP experience, which is more expensive, but we are doing the small group tour, which is a small group of no more than 12 people. Now let's talk cost of this bad boy. This experience starts at $250 per person, but it is date-based pricing. So just like Express Pass, just like park tickets, the busier it is, the more expensive it is. Again, we paid a little over $1,000 for the experience today, $1,086 to be exact after taxes and fees. Now we did book it through Undercover Tourist and saved a little bit versus booking it on Universal's website directly. This is not sponsored by them. We paid for it out of pocket, but it was a little bit cheaper to do it through Undercover Tourist, but obviously a very expensive experience, especially considering the fact that park admission is not included with that tour price. You need to have a park ticket in addition to paying the VIP tour cost. Now, what is included with that hefty price tag? Well, you're gonna get a guide and you're gonna have VIP access to a minimum of 10 of the most popular attractions across Universal Orlando. You're also gonna get breakfast and lunch included on the tour. You're gonna get valet parking. You are gonna get reserved seating at shows, you are gonna get a 10% merchandise discount, and you are gonna get unlimited Universal Express Pass for the rest of the day after your 7-hour tour experience. Whew, that's a lot of info before coffee, so let's go check in.
Check-in for the tour experience is on the Universal Studios Florida side, just past the massive archways on the right-hand side as you enter. They also suggest that you arrive at the check-in spot at least 15 minutes before your tour experience. And listen, we were timely today, folks. That's what we did. All right, so we just checked in to the VIP tour experience, got our lanyards.
Already feeling like a VIP because we got to skip the very long line at the turnstiles. They scanned our tickets in the VIP tour guide office. Gave us our lanyards. We're headed to breakfast now.
Don't forget the offer of hand sanding and sunscreen for the day.
Amenities?
Yeah.
I feel very fancy.
Super fancy. And now we're headed to breakfast, which is at Cafe La Bomba.
And look, we're walking through a basically empty park. We probably could have stopped to say hello to Betty Boop if we wanted to.
Or the Velma, Shaggy, Scooby and the gang.
That's true, but I need coffee.
Agreed. As far as breakfast goes, we have a really fun assortment, starting with French toast casserole with dulce de leche, a Western frittata, some chorizo hash, vegan chorizo hash, scrambled eggs, zesty Italian sausage hash, some applewood smoked bacon. Then, of course, you come over here to a fruit tray with some yogurt offerings and some additional toppings like almonds and granola. And you end with an assortment of pastries ranging from croissants to pancakes, muffins. Ooh, I really want that banana nut muffin. Anyway, it's a pretty nice spread for a buffet breakfast. Okay, we have just finished breakfast.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like extraordinary, but it was all good quality classic breakfast foods.
Yes. The frittata surprised me.
I know, I liked that tomatilla salsa.
They also had beverages available, both there, water bottles of course, and drinks that you can take with you. They also emphasized staying hydrated, which is just a good rule of thumb for life.
I wish this was iced coffee.
Okay.
But we did have regular coffee and they had sodas and all kinds of things. And then our guide also came around and asked all the different families that are together what kind of rides are important to them, what rides do we want to prioritize. He said that we are going to do at least 10 rides, but he's going to try to get us on a few more as well.
And first, we are headed to truly an icon of this park, which is to visit the Green Planet.
Boop.
Did you just boop the viewers?
Phone home.
Viewers, you didn't ask for this, but there you go. You've been booped. Now, I'm not going to film over the fence because we're not that kind of channel, but you can see over it Shrek Swamp, his house right there. Opening date TBD, hopefully soon. Because, listen, I know it's a kid's area, but I desperately want to visit Shrek Swamp.
I'm also very excited about DreamWorks Land opening soon, particularly for the Troller Coaster, because I love the trolls. Opening this summer, but like Alan said, TBD on that date.
We'll see you guys when we're off the attraction.
E.T. Adventure is the only remaining opening day ride here at Universal Studios Florida. It has a 34-inch height requirement, and it's similar to Peter Pan's Flight, where you are going to be suspended as you jump aboard a bike and help take E.T. back to the Green Planet, which is an experience. Attraction 1 down kicked it off with a fever dream that is the E.T. Adventure. I love it so much. We skipped the pre-show and we went right in. The posted wait time was 10 minutes. It was literally like 32 seconds from walking in to getting on the bike. Our guide makes sure we got our passports, so E.T. said our names. And now we are headed through Springfield. I'm not sure if we're stopping at Simpsons or if we're going to keep moving to Men in Black. But if we're stopping at Simpsons, I will not be participating. Which Cam, our guide, said is totally up to you. He said basically he's going to take us around, hit as many of the attractions as we can, and if you don't want to ride anything, you don't have to. Alien Attack is the next stop. It also has a posted 10-minute wait. I should note that both Men in Black and E.T. just opened, so we're jumping on quick. But I was looking at some of the other wait times in the park, and they're already 60, 70, 80, 100 plus minutes. So I think we're going to see most of our savings of time there.
Men in Black Alien Attack is a shooter-style attraction with a 42-inch height requirement, and it takes you into the world as you attempt to become a new recruit to MIB, but end up having to save the world from invading aliens. Or at least I think it does. My memories of this are all really kind of hazy. Sorry.
So we were going in to ride Men in Black Alien Attack, and somehow we've ended up with the aliens.
We have and Bob.
What was that?
And Bob.
That's their names?
Yeah.
So this is a cool perk of being on a VIP tour. You actually get to come down here and you can take pictures and you can explore all the desks. There's fun Easter eggs if you read on the desk the different immigration forms. You may notice some aliens you may have recognized before. Also, there's a bulletin board on the way in. The newly added for sale Star Cruiser Halcyon low miles took me out. So if you come to the different desks and you look at the applications here, you might see famous aliens. Like this one is Optimist, Autobot status confirmed by Nest. Here you've got Kang, which is from The Simpsons. He's part of Kang and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl. Just did Men in Black Alien Attack, and it took like 1 minute again to get on there. Posted wait 10, but what is a nice perk I realized is that Cam, our guide, took our bags. Normally at Men in Black you have to deal with going to a locker and putting your stuff in, and he just took everything for us and put us right on the ride, had it waiting for us when we got off. And now we're headed to Wizarding World.
As we make our way into Diagon Alley, I just want to point out that Cam, our tour guide, does a really good job of pointing out some of the details and Easter eggs that have to do with not only the attractions that we are going on, but also the lands that we are visiting. And it's really fun to hear about a lot of these hidden details that are within the land.
Paused for some photos here in Diagon Alley. I just love coming in here. A million times I could come in here and still be full of joy. Headed to, it seems like Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, which is the part roller coaster, part 3D, part dark ride inside Gringotts Bank here. It takes place specifically in the moment in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows where Harry, Ron, and Hermione break into Gringotts to try and get the Horcrux from Bellatrix Lestrange's vault. It has a 42-inch height requirement, and it is fabulous. And even if you think you're going to get motion sick, you got to go in there at least for the queue, because it is unbelievable.
All right, so just got off of Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. Now, the posted wait time for this attraction was 60 minutes when we arrived. We waited 4 minutes and 45 seconds to get on the attraction, and that is after pausing to get our 3D glasses and hear from Cam about some of the fun stories and Easter eggs you can find on the attraction itself. Now, the cool one that he told Molly and I before we hopped on the attraction is that if you're sitting in the last row, keep your eyes on Bellatrix on your way down because she'll give you a little wave as you make your way into Gringotts Bank. Perfect, Molly doing a great reenactment there. Now, the con of this is that you are not going to go through the queue, so you're not going to see the bank itself. So I would recommend, if you really want to see the queue, and you really should, it's so pretty, come back after the tour is over when you have Express Pass, which will take you through the queue proper, and you'll be able to actually take in all of that beautiful and hard work by the creators of the attraction.
Gonna stroll through Nocturne Alley now, and Cam pointed out a cool Easter egg, and that's in the tattoo parlor. If you watch, the drawing that has a wand on it will actually cast a spell, and then it will bounce around. This little white ball of light, yellow ball of light will bounce around and interact with all the other tattoo art, because of course if you get a tattoo in the wizarding world, it's not gonna sit still just like a photograph.
I wish that was real.
I know, I wish that my Hermione tattoo like moved and cast magic. Also, I just wish I was a wizard.
That's fair.
But I am loving that Cam is pointing out details and little things to look for, some of which I know, some of which I'm learning new today. And that's especially great if it's maybe your first time or you're not as familiar as here. I always find that learning more of the details and the backstory really enrich the experience. Really going to Hogwarts? What class would you be excited to take?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, followed by Charms, then Transfiguration.
No potions for you?
Potions is great. I think I just do great at potions because I follow recipes really well, but it's not like what I'm going to be jazzed about.
I think I would be cool with the potions instructor, though, because I'd be in his house, so that might help me out.
Are you just assuming that every potions instructor is a Slytherin?
I'd have no evidence to the contrary.
That feels kind of bad for Slytherin folks, because what if they wanted to teach another topic?
They can also teach Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Oh, true.
Let's be honest, Alan, no Slytherins teaching herbology. And hey, y'all bag on Slytherin all the time, but you know what? It wasn't the head of Slytherin House who just said that Harry Potter adults are embarrassing and they need to grow up. Shade, Hufflepuff. Shade.
Where's the food trolley? Come on, can't you conjure up some pumpkin pasta?
Ron, food is the first of the 5 principal exceptions to Gump's law of elemental transfiguration.
Inspector Patron!
Right hand.
I'm okay. Okay? That was brilliant.
Just hopped off the Hogwarts Express, which is a fantastic and fast means of transportation from Universal Studios Florida to Universal Islands of Adventure. And now we are at Hogsmeade. Now, the Hogwarts Express had a 10-minute wait. We only waited about 4 to get onto our train and our little room and enjoy that journey. I will say that 10 minutes is a very short wait, but it is still pretty early in the morning, and the wait for the Hogwarts Express does tend to increase as the day goes on, and more folks who want to park hop exercise that option via the Hogwarts Express. But now, here we are in the beautiful Hogsmeade.
Beginning our trek through Hogsmeade, unfortunately, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM is currently down for technical difficulties, although I do see them testing bikes, so hopefully it'll come back up. I don't know if it was the wind again, like during the rope drop video, or just, pixies causing mischief. Cam said that no matter where we are in the park, when Hagrid's comes back up, he will make sure to bring us back over here, since this is the only attraction that doesn't take Universal Express. You have to have a VIP guide to skip the line. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey has a 48-inch height requirement, and I always say it's not the best Harry Potter ride, but it is the most Harry Potter ride, because throughout the queue and the experience, you are going to go into the dungeons. You're going to see the Mirror of Erised, the Poge. You're going to see the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, Herbology. You're going to go to Dumbledore's office. Once you load, you're going to see things like Quidditch, dragons, Acromantula. So many Harry Potter Easter eggs. It's very, very cool, but it does make me nauseous. We just went with Cam to see how much of the queue you cut off. It's all of it. So if you are a Harry Potter fan, you're definitely going to want to go through this queue. Express is great, but if you can go through the full queue, you're going to want to do that to check out all those amazing Easter eggs. The posted wait when we were going through was 95 minutes. According to Timekeeper back here, it took 1 minute and 15 seconds to get onto the attraction, so obviously a huge time save. And then Cam took us into where Express can see the Hogwarts founders, and he told us a couple of cool Easter eggs. For starters, each of the 4 founders is holding one of the Horcruxes that associates with that founder. I did know that one, where like Salazar has the locket, Helga Hufflepuff has the cup, but I didn't know that each of the frames is custom to that founder. So like Slytherin's is snakeskin, and Helga Hufflepuff's is flowers and looks like something being your grandma's. Ravenclaw's is very fancy because she was very fancy and rich, and then Gryffindor's is solid gold. Additionally, all of the portraits in that room are from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone when you first see the staircase in the movie, and one of them is an Easter egg because it's actually Billy Shakespeare. Good old Billiam. But I'm loving, I said it before, I'll say it again, I'm loving that we're getting a little fun facts along the way.
Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM is an incredible coaster attraction here only in Universal Florida at Islands of Adventure. It has a 48 that is 4.8-inch height requirement and hits speeds of up to 55 miles an hour as you journey with Hagrid on Sirius's enchanted motorbike that has been enchanted by Arthur Weasley to a Care of Magical Creatures class where some things go a touch awry. Now, the ride vehicles on this are a little awkward, so I do recommend testing whether or not those are comfortable for you and your party before getting on the attraction. They do have test ride vehicles that you can sit in, but all in all, this is an incredible attraction, one of the best, I think, in Orlando. It's just so much fun. And luckily for us, it reopened from its delay, and we are getting prepped and ready to ride.
Hagrid's already has a 90-minute posted wait, and we got on in 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes. It's the best.
So good.
The best ride ever. I love it so much. Worth $1,000 just to walk on Hagrid.
Okay.
We are now at the exit of Jurassic Park River Adventure, which we've opted not to ride because I did not pack Molly's patented water ride outfit, although Cam, the guy, did offer to get anybody that wanted a poncho, but I'm not going to risk it today. Currently, Jurassic Park River Adventure has a 45-minute wait. It does have a 42.42-inch height requirement, and it is a raft ride through the herbivore section of Jurassic Park where possibly things might go wrong, and then potentially you end up with the carnivores, which then potentially throws you down an 85-foot drop.
Potentially.
Potentially. That would be kind of wild, though, because, like, nothing ever goes wrong at Jurassic Park.
No.
There's
it is
no
known
evidence.
as a beacon of safety.
There's no evidence that anything would go wrong.
Yeah. Not 6 logged instances of potential violations of numerous codes of animal safety and welfare of employees working at the locations, resulting in potential loss of life and damage to property.
You know what my red flag is?
What?
If they built Jurassic Park, I would go. I would be like first one there. I'd be like, hey man, fam, we're at the opening of Jurassic Park. No concerns.
It's important that the movies are fictional though, so we don't have any like real rooted evidence that anything would go wrong.
What do you? Those are documentaries, Alan. Steven Spielberg, the famed documentarian. He did that one as a sequel to his documentary about a large rogue shark. All factually correct. Finished with River Adventure, which now has a 60-minute wait. Oh my goodness, it took them approximately 2 minutes to get on the ride, so a lot of time saved yet again. And now we are headed for the greatest ride here in Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Velocicoaster.
Jurassic World Velocicoaster is a thrilling coaster that takes you inside the Velociraptor pen here in Jurassic World. And you know what? Everybody thinks it's a great idea. Everybody who works at Jurassic World thinks it's just a fantastic idea for you to go into the raptor pen.
Andy Dwyer does not think it's a good idea.
You know what? Irrelevant.
Good, because I believe that they need to know. I don't care how long you've been waiting in line, turn around, go home, it's not going to end well, all right?
This attraction has a 51-inch height requirement and is incredibly thrilling. At its peak, it is 155 feet tall and features an incredible top hat drop and reaches speeds of 70 miles an hour. I can't wait. Couldn't tell. Velocicoaster is incredible, and we really enjoyed it. Now, the posted wait time as we got off Velocicoaster was 105 minutes, and we spent maybe 4 minutes.
They took our phones because of metal detectors, so yeah, I think 4 minutes is a good guess for how long it took us to get on there. The only downside is, much like some of the other attractions, you do skip most of the queue, which is great for lines, but bad because you miss the raptors in the queue, so I would definitely recommend going through the express queue afterwards to see the raptors, but 10 out of 10, no notes, amazing ride.
And now,
It's Dynamite. T-Rexific.
it's time for lunch.
Made it to Confisco Grill. This is where we're having lunch today. This is a table service restaurant that has a wide variety of food and a bunch of really cool Easter eggs in here because this is the port of entry, so all the different islands have had to come through here. So throughout the restaurant, you can actually find an Easter egg from each of the original lands at Islands of Adventure. Like right when you come in, you can see the Lorax, you can see one of the fish from One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, you can see the Cat in the Hat's hat, and you can see the Zax from Seuss Landing. They added one since the last time I was in here. That Iron Man mask was definitely not in here last time I was, but back here you've got other things like you've got rocks and a construction hat from Jurassic Park. You've got Iron Man's mask right there. The Infinity Gauntlet was back here last time I was too. Maybe it got stolen. That's bad news, bears. And there's a bunch of other ones. I talked about it in a recent Secrets video if you want to check that out.
The Confisco Grill menu is quite expansive. For appetizers, there are things like wings and quesadillas. They offer a variety of soups and salads, and for entrees, you have things like sweet and sour sticky ribs and penne a la vodka. We were sat at a two-top, and for the appetizer section, we were given a choice between the nachos and the spinach and artichoke dip, and we chose the spinach and artichoke dip. The spinach and artichoke dip is wood oven roasted artichokes and spinach with savory cheeses served with warm tortilla chips on the side. This was actually pretty surprising. The dip came out piping hot, was very fresh. You can tell this is made in-house and not something that's just heated up in an oven. It was incredibly garlicky and super cheesy, and a great start to our lunch. For my entree, I picked up the Korean fried rice bowl made with shiitake mushrooms, gochujang and edamame fried rice, pickled cabbage, bean sprouts, and a fried egg. I also elected to add chicken as my choice of protein on top. This was a very hearty and very large dish, and I was really surprised by how fresh the ingredients were. The chicken was cooked and seasoned really well, and it wasn't dry, which is always something I fear at mass-prepared theme park-style restaurant venues. The fried rice was cooked very well, and all in all, I would order this again.
I went for a handheld and grabbed the Confisco BLTA. This is a sandwich with roasted jalapeno bacon, lettuce, crispy fried tomatoes, avocado, chipotle mayonnaise on a toasted rosemary focaccia. And this was delightful. The bread was nice and springy, although there was a lot of bread. I ended up eating it open-faced. I really liked the jalapeno bacon, which added a subtle bit of heat. The crispy fried tomatoes had a good texture, though I wish they had a little heat in them as well. Also, shout out to the manager who brought over some of their cilantro lime crema to dip my fries into. Overall, this was a delicious and massive serving sandwich. A little something different. I would definitely eat this again. And to end our meal, they brought us out a little special dessert. Not gonna lie, I was worried they were gonna bring in a full-size dessert and we were already stuffed, but they brought out cute little chocolate pieces that have been dusted with gold, special for the VIP experience. Just a little something sweet to end the meal.
Well, lunch was delicious.
We had an hour for lunch. We got a full-size appetizer and full-size entrees and then a little sweet treat, plus drinks. They give us water bottles, and now we're headed back at it.
And Cameron, after lunch, has taken us up to the Confisco Bridge, where you can see all of the individual islands or lands here in Islands of Adventure. We have Marvel Superior Island, then Toon Lagoon.
You can see the very top of Skull Island Reign of Kong.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Then you can see the Discovery Center, and then right next to that you have Hogwarts Castle. And then just barely between the foliage you can make out the Lost Continent and Seuss Landing.
And now we're in Marvel Superhero Island, I believe headed for Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man has a 40-inch height requirement, and it is a 3D simulator attraction that does move you through practical sets. So it's a combination of screens and big sets as you join up with comic book Spider-Man and JJJ, right? John Jonah Jameson Jingleheimer Smith, I think is his name. Don't fact check that. As you join him to get the scoop as the villains take over New York City and attempt to steal the Statue of Liberty.
Good luck. Man, you shouldn't be out here. With Doc Ock on the loose, this could be the most dangerous night of my life. And yours. Be careful. Nice shades. Was that Spider-Man?
All right, now the wait time for the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man was 45 minutes. We waited approximately 45 seconds as we just walked onto the attraction itself. We're able to get set up and go. And now we are headed back to Universal Studios Florida for the final rides of the day. Here's a little callback for you, dear viewer. We just passed one of the wait time signs showing some of the wait times in the area. And remember Hogsmeade Station? Remember when it was a 10-minute wait when we came over here? It's currently at 75, so it really does get longer as the day goes on.
All right, we're back in Universal Studios Florida, and Cam said we have a surprise appointment somewhere.
We literally don't know what we're doing.
No clue right now. I hope there's a troll. There probably won't be a troll.
Maybe.
That'd be nice.
Be cool.
So we are actually seeing the Bourne Stunttacular, which is a stunt show themed to the Jason Bourne movies. And I don't think Alan's ever seen this show, so that's exciting. Have you ever seen this? That's a no. It's a really good stunt show. It's very cool. The technology's amazing. So I'm excited to see it and sit down and get some air conditioning for a moment. Now there's no filming inside the show, so please enjoy Universal's media-approved footage. What did you think of the Bourne Stunttacular?
I thought it was pretty cool. I think the combined use of visual effects with practical set pieces was really, really neat, especially when they had like all the plyometric effects. Like that was really, really cool.
I love the beginning scene when he's street fighting because I legitimately cannot always tell who's real and who's on the screen. At one point, a knife gets passed from someone on the screen to the real performers, so I think it's a cool show you should see at least once. I also want to say, those of you that do not enjoy Fast and Furious Supercharged, that attraction walked so this attraction could run. It's the same technology, just years later, so it's better. But
I will say that we were talking with Cam about how early one should arrive to get to this show to be able to guarantee a spot, or at least a good spot. He said about 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, you should be showing up to wait and get into the show. And we showed up.
We waited like 2 minutes for the pre-show?
Maybe.
So, that was pretty good. Pretty good.
And now I hear tell that we have some Minion stuff upcoming.
Some hijinks. Some mayhem.
Chaos.
I love chaos.
Up next, we are headed to Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, where you are shrunk down to the size of a minion, and predictably, chaos ensues. Now, for the moving seats on this attraction, there is a 40-inch, that is 40-inch height requirement, but for the stationary seats, anyone can enjoy those. And are you ready to create chaos? You were born ready, we all know this. I'm here to chaos coordinate. That's not true, I'm shedding that title. Let's go.
Hey, Alan, do you know what time it is? It's time to spill the moon.
Okay.
Do what I say, heed my words, or pay the price.
And have fun.
It's gonna be great!
Come on, smile, Grill.
Hey, Alan.
What's up?
Gru's butt.
So I'm going to have to do this kind of quick. Hello, I'm Gru. What's your name? Where are you from? Wow, that might be impressive. Question. And thank you. Uh-oh, we have a problem. It appears that some of you have not showered in like a week. Gross. Not naming names, but it's those guys. Lucky for you, I'm in a bit of a time crunch.
Come on, we have a job to do.
Let's do this!
Okay, everybody, see you in the lab.
This is gonna be good.
Wait at Despicable Me Minion Mayhem was 60 minutes. We waited 2 to get in there. Also just want to clarify, we confirmed with the cast members that the stationary seats have no height requirement, but you cannot be a lap sitter. So you can't have like an infant go, but if you're not tall enough for the regular seats that move, you can do those. And now it looks like we're headed towards the newest Minion attraction, Illuminations Villain Con Minion Blast TM. This attraction is a shooter style game with interactive screens where you're going to stand on a moving walkway as you fight to prove your villainness and potentially join the Vicious Six. I actually really like this ride because it's very interactive with your phone and the game changes every time and the technology is very cool. We did a whole video on it when this new land opened, but this is the newest ride in the park and I'm excited to go on it right now.
Okay, well, we just finished our run on Illumination Villain Con Minion Blast TM.
And it had a 40-minute wait. We waited 3 minutes, not even 3 whole minutes to get on the ride. Alan is number 13 for the day.
Hey, Professor Blitz, coming in hot.
Did you complete your mission?
I did complete the mission, yes.
Did you get any prize for it?
I did. I got Jean-Claude's Claw Blaster.
Oh, a new blaster. This is one of my favorite things on the game. You can hook it up in the app and accept different missions and then have different things to do. I was supposed to hit 20 minions. And I did. And I unlocked Scarlet's Lethal Lava.
Ooh.
The lava business is going strong.
Now you can actually now have a place to use it.
Yeah, a new mission to kill minions.
The Revenge of the Mummy. This attraction has a 48, that is a 4.8-inch height requirement, and is a dark ride / coaster experience that takes you on the tour of a set where you have volunteered to be extras, and some things go awry because of a particular mummy and his curse. But you really know what I take away from this is, why didn't Brendan Fraser get his cup of coffee? Every time I ride this attraction, I'm just so sad that he didn't get that. In any case, it's a fantastic attraction, a ton of fun, a classic in Universal Studios Florida, and one of my favorites. Now, the posted wait for The Revenge of the Mummy is currently 70 minutes. We waited a minute and a half. That's 90 seconds before we were on the attraction. And Cam was kind enough to inform us of a couple of fun Easter eggs inside of the attraction itself. For when you are in the treasure room, you will not only see Kong on the left-hand side, a small idol of Kong, you will also see on the right-hand side a very large banana. And I didn't really believe Cam when he told me that it was a large banana. And then once you see it, folks, I guarantee you won't see it, so I recommend you look for it. Molly's going to go ahead and give you a size demonstration right now of the, wow, brilliant size demo. Fantastic. Also had the opportunity to go underneath the attraction to see and listen to Brendan Fraser ask for his coffee. And then if you listen real closely to his screams, you might hear him say that he likes it. And then once you hear it, you'll never unhear it.
Headed into our final attraction of the tour, Transformers The Ride 3D. This is a 40-inch height requirement, uses the same ride system as Spider-Man, and you are going to team up with the Autobots to make sure the Allspark doesn't get in the hands of the Decepticons, aka the bad robots. Can do it, Bumblebee. I believe in us.
Okay, that brings us to an end of our VIP tour. We've just said adieu to Cam. So let's talk about the pros and cons of the experience.
Before we do that, friendly reminder,
Oh, yes.
You can tip your tour guides.
Yes,
and
please do.
You should. 20% is good. We tipped him a little bit more than that just because he was kind enough to agree to be in some video content and such, so we wanted to say thank you.
Cam, if you see this, thank you.
Thank you. It was a great tour. He was a great guide, but yes, you can tip your guides in cash, or if you don't have cash, you can call the tour office, which the number will be in the information they send you, and you can leave a tip with credit cards.
Okay, pros and cons.
Pros and cons. I think the obvious pro, you don't wait in line.
No.
You don't just skip the line access, you get front of the line access, which is even different from Disney's VIP tours. In a little over 7 hours, we did 13 rides and saw a show during spring break.
It's the math on it is wild, folks, and I'm not gonna bore you with it now, but you can see it here.
We saved literal hours of time.
So much time.
And most importantly, one of those attractions is Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM. The only way to reduce your wait there is this tour, because there is no express pass. It always has a long line. So if you want to ride Hagrid's without a wait, this is the only way.
Con. The obvious biggest con is it's expensive. Today we paid $1,086 after tax and fees for the two of us to go on this tour.
And that does not include your park admission. We used our annual passes, but if you didn't have an annual pass, you'd have to buy a park ticket too. A park-to-park ticket.
And that again, 13 rides, one show. And then I think something that we also need to talk about is you get Express Pass for the rest of your day. And on a day like today, actually today, Express Pass would cost you $766 after taxes and fees.
For the two of us.
For the two of us.
So you're not paying that much more to get the VIP experience for the majority of the day. And then it's about 5 o'clock now. You have until 9 o'clock when the park closes tonight. You have that unlimited Express Pass. So you could go back in and do, if you had a favorite attraction, except for Hagrid's, or if you wanted to see the queue at some of those attractions, or if there was one that you didn't do on the tour, you can still have expedited access there. You also can use Express Pass at some of the other shows, like the Horror Makeup Show.
Yep.
And you get reserved viewing for the parade since it's Mardi Gras right now, which is a nice perk.
And any purchases you make at merchandise shops for the day today, you get a 10% discount.
Pretty good if you want to buy some Harry Potter merch like I often do. Another potential con is this is a group tour.
Yeah.
You can book a private tour. It is significantly more expensive. That one starts roughly $3,500, goes up to $7,000. That's for 5 people. not one person, and it's an 8-hour tour. But on this tour, it's a semi-private tour. You are going to be with other people, and the guide's going to do kind of what the majority wants to do. They're going to make sure to get you on those big ticket attractions like Hagrid's, like Velocicoaster, like Gringotts, but if your group isn't thrill seekers and you are, you may be shifted towards some attractions maybe you wouldn't choose. Otherwise, for example, we were on a tour with families with younger kids. They were all very, very nice, lovely families, but not a ton of thrill seekers, not a ton of people took Cam up on the offer to ride Velocicoaster. So then he pivoted and did more things like Minion Mayhem versus something like Hulk, which if I was choosing the tour, I would choose Hulk over Minion Mayhem. So you don't get any control over what rides you do, and it may not do your favorite ride if your favorite ride's a little more obscure.
And another con, which might potentially be a pretty small con, is that because this is true front-of-the-line access, you're going to be skipping all of the immersive queues for the attractions that you go on. So things like Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, you're not going to get the full attraction experience, including that queue. Thankfully, though, you do have Express Pass for the remainder of your day if you would like to go back and experience those attractions and see those queues in full.
Even then it's not full, because really you'd have to go through standby, but why would you go through standby when you have Express?
Yes.
But Express will get you the bank at Gringotts, and it will get you the Raptors at Velocicoaster, which I highly recommend. Yeah. Another small pro is just kind of the level of service and kind of those little extras you get throughout the day today. The hand sanitizer and sunscreen, water bottles, the fact that we didn't have to ever once go to a locker because Cam took all of our stuff. He gave ponchos out if you wanted one at Jurassic Park River Adventure, and you didn't have to pay for it. So there are those little touches that just make your day even more seamless, and that's what we meant by the red carpet treatment.
Plus, 2 meals ain't bad.
Plus 2 meals ain't bad. Now, I'm not saying I would necessarily have chosen those meals if I'm in the park, but Confisco Grill was very good.
Yeah, surprisingly
I thought breakfast was fine.
Pretty darn tasty.
Loved that frittata. Yeah. So it does include 2 meals, which means you're not paying for 2 meals throughout your stay. Also, free valet parking.
Oh, that is nice.
That's a nice perk. And the last pro, you do get some cool behind-the-scenes experiences that you would not have access to without doing the tour. Going up on the bridge was really cool, underneath Mummy, down on Men in Black. That's the only one you can maybe do on a not busy day if you ask the team, but maybe. I've never been up on that bridge. That was so cool. So just those little kind of touches and moments made the day really special.
Not to mention the Easter eggs that Cam shared, a lot of which, I mean, we know a lot of Easter eggs, but some of those, brand new.
Yeah, the guides are fantastic.
Yeah. Ultimately, though, is it worth it? I think that's the question that a lot of folks want to know. So, is it worth it?
I think obviously it's a very, very expensive way to do the parks, but there's a reason that it's a VIP service, and there's a reason it sells out a lot of the time. I think if you are coming during one of the very most busiest times of year, like spring break, like 4th of July, like the holidays, and you can splurge on it, it is an excellent product.
If you're coming at times where it's not necessarily as busy, Express Pass is probably going to get the job done for you. In fact, sometimes you won't even need it.
And don't forget, you can get Express Pass included by staying at one of the premier hotels here.
True.
So you might need to do a little math and see if maybe that's a possibility. Get Express Pass for every day of your stay and use that service over a couple days as opposed to doing VIP.
But, as Molly mentioned, at the busiest times, if you're able to swing it, boy, does it make a difference.
It was a very good experience. I would absolutely do this again. So if you're coming for a special occasion or you just want to do as much as possible in one day, it is a good product.
I mean, in fact, that's what the families who were on the tour with us today were doing.
Yeah.
They were trying to maximize one day.
They said, we have 1 day of spring break in this park. It's our kids' first time here. And this is how we're doing it. And they got
a lot done. Well, that brings us to an end at our day at Universal Orlando.
Make sure to let us know what other experiences you'd like to review. You want to see VIP tours at Disney, other parks? Are there other add-ons you're interested in? Drop that down in the comments.
But until next time, friends, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you are new, follow us on all of our socials, and if you would like to join with the Man Fam in the conversation about this or any of our other videos, please join us on Discord. Links for all that are down below.
And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
And I'm Alan.
And it's been magical.
It has been. What do you want to do now?
I would like to consume butterbeer.
Okay.
I'd like to look at a raptor.
All right.
And then catch some beads.
All those are reasonable. Let's go.
Let's do it.